folks, just got back from Montreal. I scored this Splawn QuickRod 100 EL34s. I just plugged everything in, dialed everything in. I've got a UAD Starlight delay and a UAD Golden reverberator in the effects loop. I'm running the amp in 50 watt mode. The effects loop is one of those loops that acts like an attenuator. And I actually thought it would, really suck tone if I didn't have it fully maxed out. But to my pleasant surprise, it's working really great as an attenuator. And I don't need to connect my Tone King Ironman. So without further ado, I'm going to start with the clean channel. So basically this amp has two channels. On the second channel, there's what's called 3 gears. So 3 modes. One is classic, one is turbo, kind of JCM 800. I think the classic is voiced on a JCM 800, but already kind of modded. Turbo, and so second gear is like turbo, and ultra is just like insane amount of gain. I gotta say, I'm loving just the first gear on the second channel. And when I was reading the reviews, people were saying how the clean channel is so bad it's not even usable. Not at all my experience. This sounds like a clean channel on your typical Marshall, which really isn't that bad. It's not Fender sparkly clean. Of course it's not. It's not a Fender circuit. But the clean is very, very usable. Sounds quite good. And it's not why I bought it, but definitely usable. So here's how it sounds clean. By the way, I'm running a plate reverb. This is a Luke, Ernie Ball Music Man Luke 3 signature with the stock pickups. They're like PAF style, low output pickups. Sounds pretty damn good to me. But I'm sure you're not watching this video to hear the clean channel. So without further ado, I'm going to make sure I'm in first gear. I've got the gain at around 2 o'clock. Presence is, this amp must be a pretty dark amp because I've got treble pretty high. Treble's at like 5 o'clock. And presence is almost at 3 o'clock. Bass at noon, middle at noon. I forgot to mention there's also a solo boost, which is really, really cool. It's like a secondary master. I can set the solo boost for whatever I want. It doesn't apply to the clean channel though. So here we go. So this is, I've also got a Klon clone, the Chariotone Centura, and I'll engage that at some point. I've also got a 10 dB boost built into this guitar, which is really cool too. So between this boost, the Centura, and if I hit the foot switch button, within every mode, I've got an added gain stage mode. So I think that gives me 6. If my kindergarten math is correct, or grade 2 math, 6 levels of gain. So really flexible amp. Love the way it's designed. Super useful. This could be like the perfect jam band amp for me that I've been looking for. My Bogner XC, I absolutely love it, but it weighs a friggin' ton. This is already pretty heavy, but not as heavy as the Ecstasy. So here we go. the gain boost engaged right there. So go back to the clean channel. This is the overdrive without a boost. So with the gain boost, so back to the second channel with no boost. Here's the 10 decibel boost. Versus the gain boost. Pretty similar level of gain. This was a little louder, of course. So now I'll engage the Centura Klon. Holy shit, it sounds good. Alright, so now we're going to go to the second gear. And here's how it sounds with no boost whatsoever. With the gain boost. Solo boost. Wow. Holy friggin' epicness. You know what? This amp sounds like what I wanted my Friedman to sound like, my B50 Deluxe. This is what I wanted it to sound like. And I don't remember it giving me that, you know, that excitement you feel when you finally hear an amp that's dialed exactly to what you've been wanting forever. And I know I say that with all my amps, but as I keep progressing on my amp journey. Okay, so my camera stopped recording yesterday for whatever reason. So I'm back today with my 2004 Gibson Les Paul Classic with Gibson custom buckers. They are old school, low output PAFs. And that's it. Here's how it sounds clean. Bridge pickup. I've got the UAD reverb and UAD delay in the loop. Middle. Neck. As I said in the other part of the video, very usable, clean. So the website describes the first gear of the second channel, so we'll just call it the first gain stage as a hot rod plexi. I actually find the first gear more like a JCM 800, and the website refers to the second gear as a hot rod 800. I find the second gear like a hot rodded or boosted JCM 800. And the third gear, they call it Super Hot Rod 800, and I call that, you know, melt your face off kind of gain. So we'll go to the second channel, first gear with a Les Paul, and gains at noon right now. So I find this pretty good. I'll take the delay off. So I find this is good for that AC/DC back in Blacktown. I mean, even that's almost too much gain, really, for that, for AC/DC. So no shortage of gain on tap. So we're still in the first gear. If I was to dime the gain, I mean, this is the gain at 3 o'clock. No pedals, no nothing. So again, the website calls that hot rodded plexi, but I've owned plenty of plexis, including the 100-watt hand-wired plexi, and I can tell you, I never got that kind of Friedman style super high gain. So, like, I'll be honest, I mean, I could live in this first gear, and if I engage my boost, my Klon boost, which really will tighten it up and give it even a little more sizzle. Check this out. So, and here's the boost. I find the boost exceptional on this amp. It works really, really well. And of course, there's the overdrive boost. So I mean, you won't even notice it with the gain that high. If I turn the gain back at noon, so we're still in first gear. This is with the gain boost from the foot switch. Without the boost, so it's noticeable. Without, but I prefer to use the Klon, which tightens it up more, kind of like a tube screamer, and just gives it that more focused, mid-focus sizzle. So check this out. With the Klon, without, with, a boost, absolutely wicked gain, and I'm still in the first mode. So gain still at noon. I'm in the second gear now. Overdrive boost. Klon boost. So I never demoed the third gear. Got my trusty old 2005 Gibson SG standard stock pickups, and so right now, so very quickly I'll start with the first gear. So to me, that sounds like a JCM 800. I don't know about you. That doesn't sound like a Plexi. But that's how the website describes it. So to me, that's a JCM 800. Second gear is like Turbo JCM 800. Third gear, I'd call it like Marshall JVM or Diesel or Friedman Brown Eye, Harry Brown Eye kind of gain. So here's the second gear. Again, I tend to keep the gain at noon. Back to first. Back to second. And now to third. I'll engage the overdrive boost. Without the gain boost. I'll crank the gain. Here's fully dimed third gear. Pretty epic. So, man, this can do everything. So I think I've covered all the gain stages adequately. Now to plug in a Fender Stratocaster and see what happens. Okay, so I've got my signature Eric Johnson Stratocaster stock pickups, and I'm on the clean channel. I've got the UAD Starlight delay set in Memory Man mode and the UAD Golden Reverberator reverb. Now, can a Strat rock? Oh yeah.